Welcome back to the Ambition Over Fear portal. I'm Atlas Opia, and I help people expand their interdimensional knowledge. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing when to use the mind and when to use the higher self. We're all vacillating in between our higher dimensional consciousness and the body, which is where the mind operates in. And if we're not aware of how to manage both types of energy, we can be controlled in the direction at which we have used in the past and not where we're going. If you're back on this video, definitely consider subscribing. Check out the rest of my videos if you are interested in understanding a organized way to navigate your interdimensional consciousness and to adapt techniques that can lead to more spiritual integration. So to jump right into it is, we all know that there is a source of energy in our system called the higher self that really can allow us to view Earth from a more empowering position. And this place that we go in meditation, during creative work, during moments where we're in between the dimensions and the veil is thinning between the physical and metaphysical world, we can feel into a way of observing life and acting in it with less attachment and more flow. And while we're doing that, the question can come up: where does my mind fit into my life after an awakening, after an ascension, and really as I'm moving forward into mastering myself as an interdimensional being, as I'm interfacing with this third dimensional matrix in a more creative way and less from the victim standpoint? The mind is navigating this world, right? It consistently picks up on information, which then feeds into our subconscious mind and creates an association to particular stimuli and the energy we believe we're going to get from it. So when we're wanting to jump from one version of ourselves into another, we have decided that life is a opportunity for our soul to witness its manifestation abilities in a third dimensional canvas. We get to see the energy of our soul and our universe manifest in a way where our five senses can pick up on the information. But the mind is running from the subconscious mind, and a majority of our thoughts are coming from there. So how we grew up, right? Our family, our culture, the information that we were getting from our five senses, the thoughts going on in the collective at that time, created a paradigm, a program of thoughts and beliefs that you have about yourself and the world. And then when we go through a shift in consciousness, we realize that we are not just this story. This is not all that exists. Our experience, our emotions, our thoughts, our trauma, our triumphs, that is a story that we may have unconsciously attached to, and our soul is getting to experience the thoughts and emotions of that timeline. Not that we are those thoughts and emotions and we are bound to the limitations of that paradigm. So when we're deciding to create something new in our life and we're realizing that, okay, I'm a starseed, I'm an empath, there is something I don't know, but I know I should go towards it. And what that is finding a way to understand your own energy better by realizing the mechanics of consciousness. knowing how to harness the energy in the quantum field more effectively, so you can transmute energy depending on what your soul needs to heal or expand into. So that shift from one story into another requires you to let go of the mind. The mind is a static interface that is connecting to the quantum field on Earth and is sending out a consistent signal of the particular program of thoughts and emotions that is installed in the subconscious at that time. So how do we move from one paradigm to another? Well, we allow ourselves to detach from who we think we are, what we think we need to do, where we think we're going, and what needs to happen. What this does is it removes our attachment to the past, because we may have an inclination to want to redeem experiences that made us feel less than. It takes us away from trying to predict how we're going to move into our future and the story we're wanting to experience in that time, by realizing we don't have to do anything in this moment. We don't have to be anybody. We don't have to find anything out. And we're not really keen on molding and merging into this idea that action itself is what defines our worth, and we have to do something in order to give ourselves permission to feel peace or relax or feel worthy, when in reality, us being an interdimensional soul in a human experience is beautiful enough. That is powerful enough. That is part of our soul's purpose here, is to truly get to experience the experiences and thoughts that our soul has laid out for us in this reincarnation, as we learn to honor every single type of energy. We move beyond good or bad, and we sit with the unique form of consciousness that may be anxiety or fear or excitement or pleasure. And we find that realization of, I don't have to change anything. I just have to allow myself to experience it. And in that moment, grounding yourself into that information of what a particular experience or thought or emotion may bring you, you find yourself free from the expectation of what you need to be. And that is the most powerful part, is when you're wanting to understand how do you navigate your mind and your higher self, I want you to try this. Try allowing your soul to be the leader, your higher self to be the dominant force. And what that means is every day when you wake up, you don't find yourself, you allow yourself to come through. You're not so keen on, what do I have to do today so tomorrow looks like this and this looks like this. Now, what I want to say is, we can think, okay, if I'm consistently leading from this free-flowing place of non-attachment, then how do I create in life? And what you initially do is you have a template of the divine masculine, which is a structure of habits and actions that are going to get you to where you're going. You put that in mind when you wake up for a moment. I'm going to get these things done today, so I can move into a life, a parallel reality where all the manifestations I desire already exist. That's step one, right? And then step two is you move into the feminine, which is realizing from a deeper level that you cannot control from the mind how you achieve something new, or how a new energy comes into place in your physical field, because the mind is programmed from past experiences, and your subconscious mind has previous attachments to an area of life that you would like to manifest in. So when you're wanting to manifest a new thing in an area of life, you have to surrender to letting go. You have to be non-attached to what you're creating, and you realize that I am worthy of the emotions I seek from this manifestation that I'm moving towards. I'm going to allow myself to feel them in this moment about the small things in life, and I'm going to teach myself how to tap into that emotional frequency just by thinking the manifestation is there. And then over time, I don't have to have a reason to feel that frequency itself. I don't need a carrot on a stick. I already have the gold in my hand because it's just an emotion I'm seeking from that experience. You truly move into a place where you're not attached to your life. You're not attached to when your life ends. You're not attached to how you think your death may be. You're not attached to this thing you're creating, because I understand how it feels. I have a galactic mission on Earth to provide advanced souls, starseeds, and empath with new technology that can allow them to interact with their own energy and energy in the universe in a more calculated, strategic, organized fashion that makes sense to the mind. But in that process, I have to let go of that desire. As I'm moving through my day, I can't let the obsession of who I want to be and what I'm creating get in the way of the moment. So in step 2, you're in that feminine energy where you're truly releasing who you need to be. You're accepting what has happened to you, seeing life as neutral, not good or bad, and realizing you just had an experience occur in your past. And you don't need to try so hard to justify creating that experience from an unconscious level, because it's all information connecting in an organized fashion that your soul has set up. Because sometimes we feel as if we need to manifest something so we can accept our soul in this human body. But what if we just accept ourselves by accepting the shadow and the experiences that have occurred that we may not like as much, and we see power in those emotions and how that affected our life path? And then once you let go and you're channeling information on where you need to place your consciousness, or you're downloading wisdom for yourself or things you're creating in the form of a business, and how you're offering a service or a package of information to the collective, or you're doing something creative, or you're moving through your day, once you let go of how your mind has associated to the world, by letting go of the idea that you need to do something in this world to be considered worthy, you let go of the connection to the mind's static way of being, and you plug more into trust. And then the information can come through to you, and then you use the mind to decide how to apply the information. So if you're being creative and you're downloading wisdom for your business or yourself, or you're gaining insight on how to act in this moment or where to go, the mind will allow you to connect the information to the third dimensional field, because the mind can give a function to each piece of knowledge, to each understanding of where you should go. The mind allows you to know how this world works, the mechanics of it, the mechanics of technology and the English language, and how to package your energy that is coming in from your manifestations to actions, into a structure, and into a place where you can understand it. Well, thank you, powerful souls, for being a part of this video. I make videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and if you're really interested in a new way of approaching your interdimensional consciousness, a new meaning to the word spirituality, check out the rest of my videos, because a lot of the time we're not using both sides of our spectrum, the masculine and feminine. When I was coming into myself, I saw a lot of feminine energy, which is great, but as people were bringing in wisdom and I was adapting to that wisdom, there wasn't a way to organize the information to my mind and allow the mind to adapt to my starseed timeline or my interdimensional self and the knowledge in my akashic record. So there was a split. So I kind of create and organize a way for your mind to interpret the mechanics of the universe, so your human mind and body can merge with your higher dimensional consciousness, and the past lives you're called to merge into this one now. And if you're really wanting more guidance on what your next step is, how to navigate the current position you are during your journey of metaphysical expansion, consider my galactic quantum coaching. It is there where I truly lay out an organized path for you, and I shapeshift into your system with your permission, so I can explain the concepts of consciousness and this universe to your mind in a way where it can understand it and it can be reprogrammed to take the power of your soul and this universe and the reincarnations you've had as starseed beings, or ancient Egypt, Atlantis, Lemuria. We're all being called to remember the powerful skills and technology we used in reincarnations that were of a higher dimension in a different realm, and bring it into Earth so we can play more here by gaining new ways to interact with energy. That's why I've created a collection of interdimensional skills, which is different actions you can do in the quantum field, so you as a human can really open yourself up to the creator inside of you. So reach out if you're interested. I also have a free quiz in the description, and there's more information on my coaching and what that entails. Well, I'll talk to you guys soon. Stay powerful and rest in your knowing that you don't have to be anyone. You don't have to accomplish anything. You don't have to consistently do action to feel worthy of being happy and to give yourself access to your greatest emotions. Replay this video if you need to gain that sequence of how to use the mind and soul. You can have a template of where you're going, but once you decide that's what's going to happen today or tomorrow in your future, you move into non-attachment so the mind doesn't get in the way. All right, guys. Bye.